Hi everybody, thanks for clicking on the Ham Radio Crash Course. My name is Josh, amateur radio call sign KI6NAZ. Today we're going to wrap up the Lab599 TX-500 review with a bit of a deep dive, hopefully answering many of the questions that I was able to find online, not just posted on my channel, but on places like QRZ.com, our Discord, the Facebook group, and kind of all over the internet, at least where I searched for kind of curiosities that people had about the radio. So hopefully I answer some of your questions. Of course, if I don't get them all, post in the comments below and I'll at least try to type something out to you. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Right up top, just want to give a big thank you to the Ham Radio outlet for making this available for me to check out. They're still taking pre-orders of the Lab599 TX-500. There's a lot of numbers mixed in with letters and whatnot on this radio. So if you're interested, check that out. The link will be in the description. So again, I sourced as many questions as I could, so I hope to answer them. We're going straight to the tabletop to sort these out. So let's go. All right, we're back to the tabletop. Well, the first question that got asked of me was, what is the power draw? So power draw is 0.11 amps on receive here, single sideband. So we're on the dummy load right now. I will switch to AM. So basically 1.09 to 1.10 amps on draw for transmit on AM, which is a constant carrier. That's usually a good example for what your power draw is going to be at maximum. Now, I'm really zoomed in on the screen, and you should be able to see the controls here, right? So if you go left or right, it changes the 2 on the bottom and the 4 on the top. So switching again, RF, preamp, and attenuator, noise reducer, noise blanker, noise filter, and squelch. Go through again. You got your CMR, I don't even know what that is. Your echo, which this is a feature I believe they're taking out. It's an echo mic thing. It's going away. Vox, your meter display. So in this case, we're showing SWR, but you can change it to power. I like to do power SWR num, and then hit return, right? Then you got EQ on the receive side, EQ on the transmit side. And again, these buttons are kind of a rubberized buttons. Pretty good. CW speed. We're at 30. I don't have a key that will work with this connector. So let's go back into CW speed for a second. No, I don't need that. CW pitch. Don't need that. Power. Don't need that. Tone. Interesting. Okay, so that puts out a tone and gives you the SWR reading. This is kind of like your tuning function. Pretty cool. Next question I got asked was, what is the filtering like on CW? So we're at 0.30K as displayed. So there's the first filter level. Second filter level, 0.20K. All right, there's your filter 0.20. One more 0.10. And here's your last one, 0.04. Your 400 hertz filter. All right, we've got about an S3, S4 noise floor. We get this signal at about an S5. So let's try using some of the DSP. Again, we're on the top row we're keeping an eye on. So we're going to go to the noise reducer. And if we hold this down, we get increased control. Noise blanker. Noise filter. That seems to really knock it down. That is purely an on or off noise filter. not to be confused with the attenuator or preamp. There's your attenuator. Woo! Noise filter on.
I remember that, but you might remember November 0, $5 lawyer, Larry.
Noise filter
anyway,
off.
I want to give you back to John.
Noise filter on.
John, say hello, Larry.
Hello, Larry. So your RF gain right here doesn't give you much on the upswing, but check it out on the downswing. Seems to do a pretty good job, actually. That's not bad where it's at right now. Yeah, it looks like as we've been playing, it's kind of warmed up a little bit to 1.3 amps on the draw, but, you know, keep that in mind while you're thinking about it.
And maybe 40 to 60 miles
Let's listen to the audio filters. We're on 2.4K right now.
That is not good news. That is not good news at all. So
2.05K.
knows about that yet. I hate to be the one to pass along.
3K.
You know, they always say, don't kill the messenger, you know.
2.7.
I know it's not good
2.4. And 2.4 is about what you would use with this radio.
Oh, man, if it's not one thing, it's another, as they say.
Something I don't want to forget to cover is there is an intermediate frequency that is called out in the instructions, the Ifdsp. And you activate it by pushing this diff button. And it says that you enable it by clicking this button, and it shifts the frequency. Now, what it says it's doing is it's activating the full DSP functionality of this radio when you enable diff. I'm going to hold the mic up, and maybe it's because we don't have speakers connected. I'll test this with speakers too, but let's just hear the hand mic if there's much difference.
The Whiskey Papa 3 radio.
Diff on.
Yeah, it turns out, Nick, we have
Diff off.
Yvonne, Lima Zulu 2, Lima Hotel, and Nick
Diff on.
came back and said that, you know, Yvonne grew up in the country there and so forth, but he became
Feels like it got louder.
a very big encyclopedia of rock and roll.
I'm going to put a secondary speaker on.
Lima Zulu 2, Lima Hotel. He's on frequency now. He just put his amplifier, so you're going to hear him very big. Lima Zulu 2, Lima Hotel.
Let's try diff on and then go through some of the DSP functions like noise reducer, noise blanker. Here's a guy that's running a net. Let's hit him with the noise reducer.
Here on Wednesday, starting at 4:30 Eastern Daylight Time, we're hosting a 3905 Century Club meetup on the Zoom platform. If you do not subscribe to the Century Club reflectors, you may contact KN4EUK via the QRZ email address for a one-click link to the meetup. Later on the 40 meter single sideband late net, KN4EUK hosts a Century Club care net. We, the officers of the club, seek to hear all our members against enjoying these trying times of COVID-19. Please come and share how you're doing during the pandemic. All right, with that said, were there any other check-ins? Come now.
A question that came up, I can't test this fully because I don't have a CW key with the military connector. Sorry, not military connector, but threaded connector that you guys have referred to, corrected me on. So the unit for CW is full break-in, at least that's my understanding. And you back it off from full break-in by, when you are in CW mode, you use Vox D, you click it, and again, you've got to use one of these arrows until it appears. You hit Vox D, and then there is a millisecond delay, and this is 400 milliseconds, and you can lower it all the way down to 100. And that will reduce the key clicks that appear or show up when you are using CW. So it is my understanding it's full break-in, which means you will hear key clicks when you're on and off, but you can set a delay, which will give you the ability to key for a while if you're not so fast with Morse code, and it won't unclick the relay, giving you key clicks every character, which is not going to work for us that are slower with the code. After I got the radio sent back to me for the deep dive, this came in the mail, and this is actually a military type handset with the appropriate pinned connector. And so it's PTT on the side, And it's a handset, so you've got, you know, your ear hole is here and your talkie hole is here. And we'll switch it over. Keep in mind, you're not going to get the same speaker output. If you want this kind of capability with something you can kind of clip on your body maybe while you're walking around, seems to be okay. This is all the way up. And it is louder than I would want to hear. This is holding up to the mic. At max volume, this is uncomfortable to listen to in your ear. So that's good. It gives you more than you need. As an audio check, I got a lot of people asking, you know, what does it sound like out of the speaker? Well, so I'm on an AM station. And we've got some filtering options. We're narrowing the filter. But let's demonstrate the external speaker, which you would use for headphones, but no reason you can't use a speaker.
Nơi em là bình yên, còn có sự góp dòng của pin. Trong phần rap, nếu đoạn hát của tóc tiên là tiếng lòng của người phụ nữ luôn vững vàng, thì đoạn rap của pin là sự khẳng định vai trò trụ cột.
10K is way too wide.
Bảo vệ người mình yêu. Nơi em là bình yên là sản phẩm đánh dấu lần đầu kết hợp.
So it's true, this stock speaker can be a little tinny. It works fine for radio contacts. And the thing to keep in mind with this is, you know, if you are using this for summits on the air or parks on the air, having the speaker kind of by your ear and being able to crank it up as loud as this gets is actually like a really good value. It's actually really useful. Now, it's always nice to have a speaker directly on the radio, but, you know, I don't take anything away from it for having a secondary speaker, and you can always use headphones if you want to off of the speaker, and it sounds good. Hey, thank you for that. I'm coming to you on 10 watts. I'm rocking a little QRP radio called a TX-500. You sound really good. Where are you located? I'm in Cerritos, California.
Yeah, I see, Josh. We talked just a couple days ago. And how much power are you running?
Oh, you might like this. 10 watts, a whole 10 watts.
Well, you sound like you're running a kilowatt. Sounds fantastic.
Where are you located? I forget. What's your QTH?
San Jose, borderline of Cupertino and San Jose, middle of Silicon Valley.
Oh, yeah, we were. I was using the Shegu G90 the last time we worked. Right now, you might want to look it up. I'm talking to you on the Lab599 TX-500 Discovery QRP radio.
Yeah, it's really great.
Oh, well, thank you for the contact. Give me that call one more time, please.
Yeah, WQ6L. I remember talking to you, too. I see the website here. Whiskey Quebec 6 London, WQ6L.
Okay, I got it. Was that your signal's 5.9 to me? What was my report?
Oh, same, 5.9.
All right, well, I'll take the 5.9 both ways. Thank you for the contact there. Yeah, you sound really good, as always. So, okay, so having spent a couple of weeks now, actually, about a month, with the TX-500, what do I think of it? I think this is a specialized device for a specialized radio operator. And let me clarify that point. This is a portable radio that has been designed to go outdoors. That is its purpose. That is its function. That is its primary operation. And why you would want to get it is if you are a person that wants a radio that can take a little rough and tumble lifestyle, maybe a bit of a splash due to its splash-proof kind of type creation to it. If you are a soda operator, this would be a compelling radio. If you are an avid hiker, someone who likes to travel light, this would be a radio that you should potentially consider. Now, before I give you my thoughts on this radio, what I liked, what I didn't like, and would you buy it? Yep, we're back to the standard format here at the end. There are a couple of items that I want to go through that I can't demonstrate because they're not available yet on the radio, or it's just really not something you can demonstrate. But you wanted to know it, so here it is. So one of the first things that's been asked that I can't demonstrate because it's not in the firmware yet, there will be CW memory messages that you will be able to load and run off of this radio. That would be a firmware update. It's not done yet, so obviously I can't demonstrate it. But that's a nice feature when you're out in the field. Again, you can just click a button, and there's your CQ message in CW with your call sign and whatever you're doing at the time. There will be an antenna tuner released as an accessory, and it is my understanding that it will dock onto the body of the TX-500, which should help on its form factor. It will obviously add some weight, but if you were looking for a tuner option, there will be one made by Lab599. For those of you that pre-ordered a TX-500, the first shipments should start arriving in September, around September. No real word on whether that's early, mid, or late. Now, one of the big things that people were curious about and concerned to a certain level, the repair facility for the TX-500 will be in Reno, Nevada. I don't have any more information other than the desire has always been to do repair of this radio in the United States. There will be someone certified to repair the TX-500 if you ever run into a problem, so it doesn't have to go back to like Russia or something like that. And lastly, Lab599 is a small company. They are ramping up production and they're trying to produce as many as they can as quickly as possible. So your patience in this rollout of a new interesting radio is appreciated. All right, so what do I think about the Lab599 TX-500? I think it's cool. I think it looks awesome. Just the design of it. These are all things I kind of talked about in the first video. By the way, if you haven't seen that, link is up there in the cards to go check it out. This is a radio that is designed with a specific operator in mind. It's obviously QRP, so you're going to have to already be in that QRP mindset. It's obviously very packable. So it's kind of designed for people that want to go outdoors. You don't have to go any further than the Instagram for the company to get that information. Most of the images are for it out in the field. Kind of be in the radio that it's supposed to be. Since it is splash resistant, it has a kind of black and white monochrome display that looks good in sunlight with that spectrum display. You get a really quick idea of what's going on, which is really handy because there's not a lot of QRP radios that have that capability. And so that's something that all adds into it being something that I would definitely recommend to someone that is going to do SOTA. A SOTA operator, this is one of the better options that is out there right on the market that's available pretty soon that you should probably look at. Now, the downside of the radio is obviously it doesn't have a tuner, but I've said this before with other radios that don't have tuners. It's not so much as a downside insofar as that it just reduces the amount of antennas you can actually deploy in the field. You won't be able to run a 9-to-1 end-fed un antenna, if you will, but you could, or probably most likely, run a half-wave end-fed or end-fed half-wave antenna, so long as it's cut appropriately for the bands that you want to operate on. It has resonance on those frequencies. Playing with this radio, I set it up with a SOTA beams linked dipole. I found that was a wonderful solution because it's a tri-band dipole. You just disconnect the lead, and with that you're able to do 20 meters, 30 meters, and 40 meters. I've also paired it with a manually adjustable screwdriver antenna. Did fine. Same thing if you had like a vertical, like a QRP guy's tri-band vertical, same kind of idea. As long as it's cut for resonance, the antenna that you want to use, you shouldn't have any problem. And there is a wealth of portable antennas that will be resonant and easy to set up. So it's not a problem that it doesn't have a tuner. Now, I'm not going to pretend that it has magical capabilities because it is still a 10-watt QRP radio, but the form factor is right for a lot of different situations. I was able to make a couple of QSOs with it from my home QTH. It is something that is going to be limited as a home radio. As you probably already know, QRP can be difficult in those situations. But, you know, again, it's not really designed to be a radio that you play with at home. You can. But really, this thing wants to go outdoors and be in the field, go to a park, you know, do whatever you're going to do. Just, you know, take it outdoors. That's where it wants to. The last thing, would I buy this? Yeah, insofar as that you're an individual that wants to go outdoors, wants to pack this radio in, pack this radio out, be lightweight, possibly have a lightweight antenna system to go along with it, and a 3 amp hour, 6 amp hour battery, like a bio-NO lithium power battery, something like that. This would be great. It's kind of, again, I'm really hammering this home because I think that's the niche for it. It's going to be a lightweight radio that you can carry it with you, have it available at all times. I like the speaker mic. I think that's great when you're outdoors. You can run this without necessarily needing headphones. I think this would stand up to the winds that you hear when you're on the summit sometimes blowing over your head. So for all those reasons, that would be the people that I would recommend buy this. So yeah. Anyway, I am Josh, KI6NAZ. I would love it if you left a comment on your thoughts on the TX-500 below. Let me know again if there's something I didn't hit. I tried to hit as many of the bases that I could, as many of the questions that I saw. So yeah, I do care. I want to try and answer your questions. So please, comment below, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider joining us over on our Facebook group or our Discord. Both are extremely active. It's not just me out there answering questions if you have them. People sharing their stories, their journey with ham radio. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, I am Josh, KI6NAZ. Please subscribe if you have not already, because I do live stream every Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, I'll talk to you later.